Turning now to the politics of immigration reform. It's one of the political topics we will focus on more intensely as we head into the fall political season and the midterm elections. Immigration reform is a key issue that President Obama has both pushed hard and put off, much to the frustration of immigration advocates, including the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, which met on the issue Tuesday. Despite promising he would use his powers to change the way immigration laws are enforced before summer's end, the president said recently he will not do that until well after the elections, and that politics had nothing to do with his decision.
When I take executive action, I want to make sure that it's sustainable. I'm going to act because it's the right thing for the country, but it's going to be more sustainable and more effective if the public understands what the facts are on immigration, what we've done on unaccompanied children, and why it's necessary.
For more, I'm joined from Washington, D.C. by Luis Gutiérrez, a Democrat representing Illinois' 4th District in the Chicago area. He is the author of Still Dreaming, My Journey from the Barrio to Capitol Hill. Congressman, as always, very good to have you. You're a leader of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and it's said to be drafting a resolution to demand that President Obama take action on immigration between Election Day and Thanksgiving. Now, you recently laid out what you expect to see in the president's plan. You talked to the House, and you described what you called a tough but fair solution for immigrants who are without visas and who are living and working here. Let's listen to that.
It would work something like this. If they come forward, if they submit their fingerprints at their own expense to the FBI, and if they pass a rigorous criminal background check and meet other requirements, we will issue them a biometric identification card that says that they are not a priority for deportation.
Now there are reports that the Hispanic Caucus wants a commitment from the White House to, quote, go bigger on immigration. What would that mean?
Well, here's what I think. I think that when we met with the White House official, with Mr. McNutt, the Chief of Staff, and others from the White House, they said they're asking for forbearance. Well, you know, Antonio, if you or I ask for forbearance at our bank, we have to pay extra interest. We have to pay a penalty. We have to pay more. If I'm at home and I kind of screw up with my children or my wife, I think, you know how I'm going to make it up to them? We all know that. Make it up to us. Make it up to us by being broader, by being more generous, in terms of the kind of executive authority you can use. I think the American public and the immigrant community specifically expect something bigger and broader from the Barack Obama administration, and I'm very, very hopeful that that's exactly what we're going to see.
And so the screw up, to use your words that you're talking about, is that the president said he would act on immigration at the end of the summer. He delayed it. The New York Times actually published a very harsh editorial saying that it was called Another Broken Promise on Immigration. It criticized the president for treating immigrants, their families, and advocates like you as safely expendable. Now, you have written that the president should have taken action before the elections to be more transparent. But he kept saying that whatever he does will be more sustainable after the election. Do you agree?
Well, look. Here's what I've done, Antonio. I've kind of pivoted away from my criticism. They're very well known. I went to the House floor. I gave speeches. I gave multiple interviews. I talked about how I was disillusioned. When you walk away from your values, when you walk away from your principles, it's the wrong thing to do, and that immigrants should be protected by the Democratic Party, by the president, by everyone in America all the time, not just when it's politically wise or expedient. Because I think what many senators were saying to the president is wait till after the election, delay your actions without taking into consideration the devastating effect that our broken immigration system has each and every day on 1,000 people that it deports and 10 million people that it hurts by not allowing them a way to get a visa and get right with the law. So what I'm saying is, look, you usually don't get fairness and justice when you do things that are politically wise to do, right? And you certainly don't get public policy that you're proud of. So let's not do the quote-unquote smart political thing. Let's do what's fair, what's just. Let's stand up for our principle and our values all of the time. In 2012, boy, those immigrants on election night, you remember, Antonio? You were part of those that looked and analyzed how it was President Barack Obama and the Democratic Party was so triumphant that night. And one after another opinion centered on the immigrant, Hispanic vote, Asians, and what they meant. Look, those people came out to vote. You should keep your promise to them, and we shouldn't have political considerations in this election cycle because it doesn't look too good. Well, you should stand up for the immigrant community all of the time.
But to your point of talking about principles, and you mentioned that the senators who were pressuring the president to put off any decision, a new political poll shows that nearly 2/3 of voters in the most competitive House and Senate districts this fall disapprove of the way the president has handled immigration, and more people trust Republicans on the issue. So has immigration turned into a liability for Democrats?
Well, let me tell you one thing. There were 2 million more Latinos voting in 2008 than 2004, 2 million more in 2012 than 2008, and in 2016. You want to turn away from the issue of immigration reform and fairness and justice, you're going to turn away from 900,000 Latinos that turn 18 every year, and they're all American citizens. It's a growing community, and it cares deeply about the fate of 11 million people that are in this country. Asians care deeply about that. The Irish care deeply about it. And those are core groups of the Democratic Party. Let's stand up for them today. I know where the American people are at. They're on our side. The Washington, whether it's the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, everybody's focused, right? And it's come and reached the consensus that immigration reform is the way forward for our nation.
And certainly polls do show that the majority of Americans want immigration reform. So again, a very important issue going into the midterms. Congressman Gutiérrez, it's always a real pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for joining us.
Keep doing well, Antonio. Good to have spoken to you.
We'll be back with more of Consider This.